Top right side, blue Terran player, Dragon Phoenix Gamer Man himself. He's Cure. His opponent in the bottom left side, hidden on the shelf, he is the teamless Terran. He is BYUN. Dude, I hit it's 4-game parlay with parlay with the overs and BYUN plus Cure winning. Damn, 16 times. Ooh, that's pretty good. Not sure exactly what it means, but it sounds really good. I want your life. Guess someone's jealous. That does seem like a good thing. Right, Cure and BYUN. Cure and BYUN. What are the main differences between these two? There are some definitive, clear distinctions. BYUN, a much more aggressive player, I would say. Somebody that likes to try and keep the pressure up on his opponents, keep the pressure away from his own side. That does leave him open for the occasional very straight-up player that will be able to kind of deny the attacks for the first couple of moments and then suddenly still have enough for a medevac to start dropping in BYUN space as well. Cure here opening up with the single gas, straight going for the command center, as we have BYUN kind of going for the alternative route, the more so defensive setup with the double refinery, getting himself that factory a lot earlier. Now might still try to do something with this, of course. An early on Cyclone, maybe some extra Hellions, anything of the sorts. We'll have to see. Sometimes the player with the double racks or the double refinery opening here still will be able to do a bit of damage to equalize the overall economy. Parlay means he bet on 4 separate matches and every one of his choices was right. Ooh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty darn impressive. Wow. Okay. Impressive. Down to final score? What do you mean? Anyway. Trying to focus on the offensive here. The eye is coming in for BYUN. It's not that terrifying, I have to say. Not that many units available there for BYUN. Looks like Cure should have a good hold here. Shouldn't have too much difficulty. The mines of the Reapers, though, being utilized quite nicely. One at a time, forcing Cure to kind of move away. They don't just do a bit of damage, they also stop the units of Cure from shooting for a little bit. And that's why you see them moving backwards. That does cause them to stop shooting themselves, of course, as well. But at the same time, stop BYUN from shooting him also. Okay, BYUN. I mean, we've said it before. He is very aggressive. Likes to stay on top of his opponent's side of the field. Is going to do so with the help of a siege tank being ferried across now with a medevac. More Marines also joining in the fray. So both these players kind of trying to figure out what the best setup will be. There we go. There's the siege tank coming in. The Cyclone on top of this medevac. I mean, it's going to cause these units to be stuck here, but at the same time... Well, I guess it also is the high ground vision available for the siege tank. That was a really good cleanup there for Cure. Surprising good cleanup, honestly. Losing 4 workers, maybe 5, let's see. Yeah, it does get... No, it is 4. Okay. Yeah, Cure's still in a demanding lead now. I would give it to him, for sure. Very nice. Very nice. Secured now after his victory on the home front. Decides to do something similar here. Let's see, trying to give chase to this Raven that's coming across. BYUN, I mean, even with him taking a blow to his army supply, he's still the player that again wants to be aggressive here, right? Again, wants to be the player that is in control of the entire way the matchup is being played right now. Doesn't want to take the off chance that he's going to lose SCVs here. Only wants the off chance that he may lose those army units, right? Trying to get SCV kills. But that's what he's looking at mostly anyway, so. Less likely for him that the army units will go down. Two extra reactors coming up. Kyo setting up shop as well in order to try and claim his own third base space. May become a bit tricky with BYUN already hot on his heels here. Army supply for Kyo is almost higher with a third of that BYUN has. So BYUN needs to be careful. Alright. This is the slowing down part of the TVT game. That's why I've kind of slowed down the commentary as well. There's not really much happening here. Mostly what these players can do is kind of set up shop on the defensive. It looks like, you know what, BYUN still, of course, it's in his blood, guys. He can't help himself. But you can see that he's doing it very, very carefully. He does not want to be running into his siege tank line that is already pre-set up. It's just a certain way of killing yourself in a game like this. Losing his Raven here also now tanking a ton of damage with those marine numbers. I think we may have ourselves a little bit of an overcommittal here from BYUN. Not realizing how far behind on the overall army supply that he was in this fight. Okay, careful. Kyo decides to pick up and move elsewhere once again. Might go for the counter-offensive this time around, as he did figure out, you know, you don't have that much, do you? Well, he'd be wrong. They are equal on army supply right now. Let's see. Great anti-armor missile there. Also interference matrices. Will that be enough here for Kyo to take the victory? Do we not have stim available for BYUN? Okay, we do. Does get that siege tank out of there. There we go. 4 siege tanks now. And that's it. Kyo already moving back. May just be trying to get the rest of his forces back together. Push in from a different area. That is what I would like to see happen here. But no, he's still just going to commit to this same overall engagement. Here we go. This area under a lot of contention, that is for sure. Where does BYUN want to have his siege tanks? That's the good question. Okay, the 4 siege tanks on the ramp have been spotted. No longer a secret here. Getting a lot of medevacts. Okay, that is a surprise. Wasn't quite planning that. Trying to just kind of scoot on by the range that the siege tanks have there. Not quite being able to do so because, well, there's a lot of Marines there. So clearly not going to have that come his way. As BYUN is either setting up a massive flank or he's going for a massive counterattack. The counterattack here could be quite devastating. As there's not that much. Well, there's the siege tank here for Kure. Kure actually set up as much as he could for this. And not going to take any damage so far. Almost 50 supply difference here for these two players. BYUN supply blocks like an absolute madman. It's going to be a long while before this supply block is gone. Look at that. 4 supply depots being constructed. That is rough. That is as rough as it gets. And Kure going to claim his 4th base before BYUN does. So, big deal for him as well. Getting the medevac right there. Ooh, good flank around. Coming in, shutting it down. Kure finds himself with a nice trade there as well. BYUN already struggling with his army supply, even lower on the army supply right now. This could be a good opportunity perhaps to fly in a couple of medevacs from one of the side angles. Maybe even from behind to get on top of those siege tanks without the Vikings shooting them down. But yeah, this is a rough one. Kure. There we go. Still losing a couple of Marines there, but does get the siege tank in the end. Yeah, very much like the way that Kure is approaching this matchup right now. Oh, only a single siege tank available on the right side. The left flank getting anti-armor missiles, and the siege tanks are tearing apart the Marines. The Marines for Kure, though, coming in from the backside, looking to get rid of these siege tanks of BYUN as well. Will find their way into the natural. That is a great spot for his siege tanks now. Forcing all of the army of BYUN to stay away from this fight. 22 workers go down. BYUN in a lot of trouble here. I don't know. That could be that Wadi is playing from or casting from a replay. He does do that sometimes. Regardless. Getting hurt quite a bit. Alternative universes. I mean, it can prove to you that this is not a replay, to be fair, if you really want. I can do it right now. Look at that. You see that? That would be a replay bar there if it was a replay. And that's not, so... Anyway, regardless. Another big attack here for Kure. Finds himself in a wonderful position. As BYUN is struggling to kind of maintain the foothold here. I think Kure may have done it with this one. Slowly but surely just getting rid of more and more of his opponents. Wadi's not live? Oh, well, there you go. It's not even live, guys. What are we what are we on about? Oh, BYUN plays Clem later today. Ah, alright, alright. I see, I see. Wadi, of course, the Devil's Channel. The man that doesn't rest. Clearly selling his soul. To get to cast more StarCraft 2. Alright, this is quite a conundrum here for BYUN. I mean, he's been hanging on by a thread for a while, but there we go. There's the tap out. Was expecting it for a moment there, but you know what, BYUN trying to make work with what he has. GG is called. Yeah, I wish I was good at StarCraft to suck balls. Rust I love and League of Legends, but my macro has a disability. Yeah. Yeah, we are considering getting some overall League of Legends on this channel as well. I believe we do have some stuff coming in for that entire ordeal. We are looking into it, as there is a more well in esports where we can get more money out of rather than StarCraft 2, and maybe we can support the StarCraft 2 team that way by also having a league kind of department, right? Because StarCraft 2, that is still where all our love really lies. That is our baby, you know. That is the game we all thoroughly enjoy, especially watching it all. Are we a direct competitor of Wardy? I mean that is like calling the whatchamacallit, the little kid coming in to bring the recyclables from the old lady in the street, a competitor of the actual union of the garbage men, right? That is kind of, it's like calling the lemonade stand the direct competitor of the grocery store down the road. I mean, clearly, Waddy is trying. He's really trying his hardest, but I mean, he's still just a little tiny lemonade stand compared to us behemoths, of course. Clearly, nice. Did we already introduce these players? I mean, I don't think we did, but well, I guess we know, right? We know BYUN, we know Cure. Most of us do. Waddy and us are both here to support the StarCraft 2 scene, that's right. It's just a grandiose love for StarCraft 2. That is combining most of us. Both of them going for the Command Center first play this time around. Did work out quite nicely for Cure that previous time. Am I not on... Oh, I wasn't on this cam, that's why. I was like, he's looking here for a long time, isn't he? Just curious how that whole scene works. Yeah, it's just trying to figure out when other player or other casters and stuff have events going, and then try to work around it, right? Because, well, first and foremost, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot by just getting rid of a lot of the potential viewership that you may or may not have had. And at the same time, you're kind of burning bridges that are, well, not really meant to be burned in a way, right? For no real rhyme or reason. Okay. Very similar openings here for both players. Little bit of a mix-up here. Overall, we actually no mix-ups at all yet. I guess the Hellion count is a bit different, right? Oh no, never mind. He's fixing that Hellion count. Yeah, very similar so far. Medevac coming up for Cure. Maybe BYUN will... No, also going for the Medevac. 1-to-1 openings here for these players. Doing just barely not the exact same build here, but very close. High intensity. You can't handle the high intensity. I mean, to be fair, sometimes I get a bit intense as well, right? I do it sometimes. I try, anyway. I guess the chill guy is also, it's also a pretty good thing, right? I appreciate it. Pretty good thing. Couple of Hellions here towards that main base, as there is already a drop in the base of Cure as well. Couple of those Marines should be able to handle a Cyclone or two. A Siege Tank for BYUN is available as well, as a Hellion attack is going on in the natural base as well for Cure. Cure so far not taking many losses. Oh my! BYUN having those SCVs stacked up quite a bit. 11 of them go down. The Cyclone cleans up the Hellions on the left flank, and the medevac drop also being handled quite nicely. Is Cure just gonna 2-0 BYUN here? Because it is looking quite nicely for him right at this moment in time. May even get more SCVs. It's not even gonna bother. It's like, nah, I got enough here. I've dealt enough damage. No need to further embarrass you, BYUN. Don't worry about it. We'll keep that away from you. Oh, once it's so bad. There we go. And the delay on the third base. Quite nice. So with both third bases coming up, I mean, BYUN here at a clear disadvantage after taking so many losses. Trying to see if there's anything else still kind of going for him in this match, but it's hard to say. It is DVT after all, guys, so maybe one big Doom drop, of course, will turn it all around, but it's always rough to kind of, you know, try to hang your hopes on winning a game on a Doom drop. It can work, don't get me wrong, but will it? There's already a couple of Vikings on their way to that location. The Ravens are relatively close by as well. This may still come into fruition. It looks like it will. Siege tanks need to siege up as quickly as possible here. Alright, let's see how good of a fight that BYUN can take right now. Forcing his opponent into the offensive, into his siege tanks. Great interference matrices. And that's just cleaned up. That is just as cleaned up as it gets. BYUN now not only behind in the worker count, he's also behind in the army supply here quite significantly, as he is just kind of losing everything. Is this just where BYUN dies? I mean, 50 army supply is about to barrel down the front door. And I don't think he has anything here, to be fair. Yeah, it's got the 2 siege tanks, a 3rd siege tank on the way, but this is about it. That's all he can muster. A couple of other turrets being thrown about. The Vikings trying their best. Okay, and I mean, that's it. That's it. That's all she wrote. GG has to be called here. BYUN taps out, gets 2-0'd by Cure. Somebody